Hello everyone. So today we have a special guest, Evaa Saiwal. She is currently working with Policybazaar for Business as practice head, liability, cyber and specialty risk department. So over to Eva. Would you like to talk about your journey at Policybazaar for Business first?
Absolutely. Thank you, Nirut, for having me. And yes, Policy Bazaar for Business, we are trying to do something different for the insurance industry. We are aligning insurance, and we're not only emphasizing insurance as an insurance policy, but we want to talk about the risk surrounding an insurance policy first.
Okay. Okay, wonderful. So today's topic will be 2026 outlook, what businesses must prepare for a new age of AI-powered cyber crimes, right? So to start with, my first question is the recent cyber attack on Indian airports has exposed major vulnerabilities. What does this incident tell us about the evolving risk landscape for Indian businesses?
Right. This has been an eye-opening thing for the industry, and this incident underscores a fundamental shift of how cyber risk has moved from being a digital disruption to a real-world operational threat. Airports sits at an intersection of IT systems, OT environments, third-party vendors, and public-facing services. A
Right.
cyber event here doesn't just affect databases; it actually affects day-to-day life. It affects, it affects by delaying flights. It could disrupt logistics. It impacts passengers' safety perception, and
Mm.
basically it invites immediately regulatory attention. So we
Right.
are seeing similar patterns, not only in aviation, but also in like a manufacturing. We are seeing in healthcare, we are seeing in BFSI. So for Indian businesses, the takeaway is that cyber incidents are now business continuity event and not an IT incident only.
Right. So we can say that there is no the these attacks are not limited to a specific industry.
Yes,
They are
yeah,
everywhere, right? So
yeah,
everyone should be aware of these incidences, and again, they should be prepared how to tackle these
yeah.
incidents, and again, how to educate the teams, the in-house teams to take care of such incidents, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yes. So,
So, yeah,
yeah, please
please,
go ahead.
please. No, please go ahead.
Yeah, no, see, I'm talking about in comparison to, let's say 10, 15 years back when if I would go to a manufacturing client and then talk about cyber risk and they'll not understand. They will
Right,
say, what will a cyber incident happen in a manufacturing setup? And they would really question, and they would, in fact, sometimes would think that we are just selling a product. But now, because of the digital era we are in, people are
right,
seeing the importance of this product. So, like, for example, one of the this year's big breach on a manufacturer, car manufacturer, they did not have a cyber insurance in place. So that's a wake up call for companies who are still evaluating, still thinking that this product is expensive because
right,
the losses coming due to the risk is way beyond than a small percentage of the risk as a premium a client a company has to pay upfront.
right. Yes, correct.
Yeah.
So, I believe educating all your teams means at least the team who is handling, who is responsible for these kind of risk should be educated with the
Yeah.
correct information,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And they should be guided in the right direction because so what I believe and what I have seen is the companies who are growing right now, they don't want to invest much in these kind of things. If we talk about just a specific industry, if we talk about the manufacturing only, so I guess they are not much bothered about these things, but they should be.
Yes.
in healthcare. So manufacturing is obviously a concern, is obviously a industry which we should look for, and at the same time healthcare where people uh, look for improvements in everything which we are using. So that's also creates a big problem if we overlook or we just ignore such alarms, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for sharing the information. And we'll move ahead with the next question. So, what kind of losses do such large scale incidents typically trigger? Operational, reputational, regulatory, and how does cyber insurance respond?
Yeah, I would be happy to pick one of the different things that you have said, but unfortunately, a cyber claim is a large scale incident. It almost always trigger a multi-dimensional losses at the same like simultaneously. So
Right.
there are
Yeah.
obviously there are operational losses, like for example if you're talking about let's say these airports, so there were flight delays, manufacturing, there will be factory shutdowns, there'll be system downtime, there will be a lot of manual processing that would be required, and
Right.
there would be emergency IT recovery cost that the company has to take in. So there are a lot of operational losses that happens. Far more than an operational loss is, in my opinion, is a reputational loss of a company. So as immediately as a cyber breach happens and the news come in public domain, the customer lose trust.
Right.
The
Yes.
partners would question the reliability of your system and your company. The
Right.
stock prices, if your company is listed, more vulnerable you are. So, the stock prices plunges and the investor confidence takes a hit.
Right.
So, then comes the regulatory angle to it, right? So, a regulator, if you are a regulated industry, and now, of course, with
Mm.
a framework like India's DPDP Act, it will become very, very difficult to manage and very I mean, how do I put it, like the incidents now would trigger mandatory disclosures and investigations, and potential penalties will be put up on the companies.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Right. So again, the point comes around is if a company is not aligned to these alarms and is not taking actions against these alarms, so it will obviously triggers the client's trust and various other points which you have covered. So obviously you have to take care of everything when you are running a company.
Yes.
Right. So uh, so next question is, in the case of such critical infrastructure attacks, what specific policy features prove most useful? Business eruption, breach response, or ransom negotiation?
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, the policy is beautifully drafted to take like sponge out first party losses and third party losses. So, like
Right.
first party would be the first thing a company, the losses that comes on a company after a cyber breach. That would be, as you rightly said, an incident response. First thing that any company would need would be an incident response. So, like a digital forensics and system restorations or crisis communication and stakeholder messaging, that comes into play. Then comes business interruption. So in any breach, if especially where downtime affects a lot of data or a lot of users or services, then of course business interruption covers come into play. The next is for maybe the company would be like a ransomware or a negotiation support that comes with this policy, that not all incident would require a ransomware payment only, but sometimes it could be negotiated also. So such specialist payouts is also taken care by this policy. There are few more things, like any legal fees that can be picked up if there are any third party losses that is coming onto them. I earlier said crisis management, which requires any PR cost or any investigation cost, etc. All that comes into play, any if I say any communication that needs to go out to the affected party. So, for example, if my data is breached through a company, then the company needs to mandatorily tell me about that this data has been lost, your data has been lost. So that communication, that also cost is picked up by cyber insurance.
Right. Okay. So how would you summarize 2025 for the cyber insurance sector in India?
As I actually mentioned that 10, 15 years back, people would not really think it's me, it can be me, right? Now people are, they always feel that not me. Our IT systems are robust, our IT systems, and if we go and speak to a CISO, they would think that we are questioning their ability, which is not the case.
Right.
Every company is doing the best IT security system that they can, and yet there are thousands of breaches which are happening in the world. So 2025, if I say I have to, like, that marked the year where I think cyber insurance become little matured in the country. So earlier what was happening that the companies who were purchasing this insurance were driven largely by either client mandates, they have large contracts they're asking for these cyber insurances, or maybe by compliance. But a little bit we are seeing that in 2025 the buyer's behavior is changing. So now what is happening is it is becoming like a boardroom conversation. Now, people in the boards are asking, they want to get involved in the cyber insurance. CFO are getting questions, and the risk team are like, there are so many risk managers who are now sitting with us and asking us about exclusions, what are the sublimits, how does the claim triggers, etc., etc. So yes, definitely, I feel the market is now have shifted from a checkbox insurance to a strategic risk transfer solution.
Okay. So I just wanted to ask how, when you approach organizations who are newly formed, how they react to these kind of approaches.
Yeah, very interestingly, I'll tell you. So small startups, right? They might
Right.
not have all the check boxes, or they wouldn't have the best of the IT security systems in
Right.
place.
Yes.
Few of the founders have once told me, like, they continually tell me that because of
Mhm.
the cyber insurance, we understand what cyber security needs to be in place. Right.
Okay.
So, because it's a very data heavy underwriting, the lot of IT security questionnaires that needs to be filled in. There are a lot of IT BCP policies. So, in this way, on the way of procuring these policies, the companies now start taking, their IT six, like they understand where we are sitting right now. So, yes, that's very important for the newly funded or small companies.
Okay. One more question I have. So who should take the business insurance?
I feel if there is even a little bit of digital work your companies are doing, then you
Mm.
are susceptible for a cyber breach. Hence, you should all those companies should take cyber insurance.
So there is no barrier, like if you are a new company, if you are a 5-year-old company or a 10-year-old company, if on day one, if you are uh, connected to IT uh, or data kind of thing, so you are you should have this insurance, right?
Yeah, yes and no. I mean, yes, in the
Okay.
point of view of risk, the
Mm-hmm.
risk starts at the moment, but cyber insurance is a little expensive in comparison to other business insurances.
Mm-hmm.
Cyber insurance, because of the claim that is happening, the insurance is very expensive. So small companies can't really see. Startups are focusing on growing their companies, right?
Right. Yes.
So
Correct.
their money is very valuable for them for the growth and
Right.
not for things like insurances. So they'll take the mandatory compliance related insurance, but cyber insurance they will take only when they really see, or either as I earlier mentioned, if there is a client mandate kind of a thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, would you like to share an incident where, uh, if you can, I just want to understand how these, if you got a claim for an organization, so how you investigate such claims. I just want to understand.
Yeah, I know. Okay. So we as insurance brokers don't do it. Actually, it is the work of forensic partners.
Uh-huh.
And so so the immediately that the companies tell us that we have been breached, or we have
Right.
some understanding that maybe we are breached like that.
Mm-hmm.
So we tell the insurance companies, like we notify them, and immediately a forensic partner is involved, and
Mm-hmm.
and all the investigation is then taken care and taken forward by insurance sorry, a forensic partner.
Forensic partner.
Yeah.
Okay. So in how many cases the claim, so I just want to understand this. In how many cases the claim is settled and
100% for us.
100%? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
If it is a
That's
cyber breach, there is some or the amount, in a way, um, if a cyber breach is legit, there will be
mm-hmm.
some cost a company would be incurring. So
Mm-hmm.
I'd not say that 100% of the claim cost, but
Right.
100% of the number of claims were settled by us.
Settled.
Yeah,
Okay.
and ongoing also, yes.
That's great.
Yeah.
So next question would be how will you AI powered cyber attacks reshape risk in 2026, and are insurer prepared for AI versus AI cyber warfare?
Very interesting. So I would say attackers will use AI much
Right.
faster than company will create defense mechanism,
Right.
right?
Yes.
Attackers will probably, launch hyper personalized phishing at scale. They'll
Mm-hmm.
easily impersonate executive through deepfakes and voice cloning.
Right.
And, they will create innovative and more disruptive ransomware or malware that could be easily, it'll easily attack the companies. So we're seeing this in a way, like these deepfake enabled payment diversion, credential theft, etc., are happening. A lot of AI driven fraud and social engineering are also happening in fintech, BFSI sector. We're seeing that, and yes, insurers are also preparing. Yes, it's not that insurers have taken a backseat on it. Insurers are preparing, but I would say carefully, because this risk is very new. There is not a lot of data. Like insurance depend on data.
Right.
There is not a lot of data because it's a very new, very upcoming. Still, we feel it is upcoming. This so yes, of course, there needs to be an AI aware underwriting to better understand the systemic or the correlated risk that comes from cyber insurance. And of course, continuous risk monitoring is very important for companies. So it should not just be an annual assessment. It should be like a continuous monitoring that companies should do. And I think that would maybe change in the AI era that we are going to see in the future.
Okay. So what is the role of Policy Bazaar for business in this AI versus AI cyber warfare?
So we are changing the conversation, I'll tell you. We're not only, as I mentioned before, that we're not only talking about insurance anymore. For
Uh-huh.
us, cyber insurance is the last defense mechanism a company should have, right? Like we are talking about risk. of the companies. We are enabling companies with few tools that they can, do to monitor, understand, assess their risk, and if there is an incident, we are creating like a atmosphere of cyber risk partners who would come into play if there is a claim, or even before probably. So yeah,
Mhm.
there are a lot of discussion now is beyond insurance. It is about risk at
Mhm.
Policy Bazaar for Business.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, thanks for sharing all these
Thank you.
information.
Yeah.
And I guess that's it from my end. Would you like to add anything which I might have missed? So our viewers or the organizations who are seeing and would like to connect with you and would like to understand more about cyber insurance. So please.
Yeah, I mean, I think in the age of AI-powered cybercrime, resilience is not about stopping every attack. It is about ensuring that the businesses, your customers, and your reputation survives. Uh,
Okay.
uh, as people are saying, it is not if, it is when. So companies should be prepared for the one breach that they fail to counter. So
Counter.
I think that is, and partners like us would always be there with our clients. We handhold them through claims. In fact, there are places where we had revisited claim cost with the insurance companies and surveyors, that no, you have to look at this little differently, and of course that led to a bit of increase of claim payout also. So yes, we are here to help out our clients.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Eva. Thank you for sharing all this information with our readers, viewers. Um, that's it from
Thank
end,
you.
and it
Thank you
was
so much.
great talking with you. Uh,
Same here.
so much information shared, and I hope our viewers will get in touch with you for any help with the cyber insurance for sure.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Bye bye.